Chapter 77. Transformation into 3 fairies. Looking carefully, the immortals saw the fairy slaughtering sword hanging in the east, the fairy slaying sword in the south, the fairy entrapping sword in the west, and the fairy exterminating sword in the north. As they looked on, they heard someone singing, "You can't flee from the slaughter. As emotions burn in your heart, to die or to live is up to me. Like the jade emptiness palace. You know as the heart is pierced. Self-conceit brings only your end." Burning Lamp said, "Do you hear what he is singing? How can he be a good man? Let's go back and wait for our master to tell us what to do." Just as they were about to leave, Multi-Precious Immortal rushed out and roared, "Grand Completion! Don't go away. Here I come." Grand Completion turned and said angrily, "Multi-Precious, this is not the Green Touring Palace. You are destined to see your end soon." Grand Completion and Multi-Precious flew into battle, and before long, Grand Completion hit Multi-Precious right on the back with his heaven-overturning stamp. He ran away. Let's return for the time being. We can discuss how to deal with the trap later. Burning Lamp urged. Back in the pavilion, sweet music and a wonderful fragrance slowly filled the air. Heavenly Primogenitor was coming. The immortals went to meet their master, who was descending from the sky in his 9-dragon Lignolo carriage. At midnight, auspicious clouds, hung with pearls, jade necklaces, and thousands of golden flowers, appeared over the pavilion. Multi-Precious realized Heavenly Primogenitor had arrived. He said, "We must have our master here too. Otherwise, we won't be able to stand against them." The next day, the Grand Master of Heaven arrived from the Green Touring Palace. His entourage was also accompanied by a wonderful fragrance. Multi-Precious went to welcome him. Entering the trap, the Grand Master of Heaven mounted the 8-diagram terrace and took the seat of honor. He was attended by his disciples, Multi-Precious, Mother Golden Spirit, Mother Invincible, and Mother Spiritual Tortoise, Fairy Golden Light, Fairy Black Cloud, Fairy Adjoining Reed, Fairy Spiritual Teeth, Fairy Dragon Head, Fairy Gold Headring, and Fairy Light with Long Ears. The Grand Master of Heaven was the founder of Jia Taoism. At midnight, a spiritual light appeared over his head. Burning Lamp realized that the Grand Master of Heaven had arrived. The next day, Heavenly Primogenitor ordered his disciples to make the first move. They approached the trap in pairs, Pure Essence and Grand Completion, Fairy Primordial and Master Spiritual Treasure, Virtue of the Pure Void and Krakukanda, Heavenly Master of Outstanding Culture and Universal Virtue, Master of the Clouds and Merciful Navigation, Jade Tripod and Heavenly Master of Divine Virtue, Yellow Dragon Immortal and Lu Ya, Burning Lamp and Jiang Ziya, Jingjia and Mujia, each holding an incense burner, Wei Hu and Thunderbolt, with Li Jing taking up the rear and Nejia at the head. The Grand Master of Heaven appeared on a fairy ox, accompanied by his disciples. He bowed and said, "How do you do, brother? Dear brother, why have you set up such a wicked trap? When the conference was held at your Green Touring Palace, we finalized list of creations publicly. Why do you wish to oppose the will of heaven and hinder Jiang Ziya? How can you break your promise? As Taoists, we do not like to hear the word slaughter at all. You have acted hastily. You need not ask me, brother. Ask Grand Completion to find out why we have come." The Grand Master of Heaven replied, "Tell me." Heavenly Primogenitor ordered his disciple. Grand Completion told his master all that had happened. "Grand Completion, you said that our disciples are feathered fowl and horned animals. As our 3 religions originate from the same source and the same master, we are really of one body. Should I be classified with such beasts, you too cannot escape this distinction." The Grand Master of Heaven stated, "Brother, don't blame him. Many of your disciples are ill-natured. They speak like human beings but act like wild beasts. Besides, you do not choose your disciples carefully. You allow them to sow discord between us, causing the people to suffer. How can you feel right about this situation? You mean to say that your disciples are always right, even to curse me? You obviously do not regard me as your brother. This trap is already set up. See if you can break it and prove you are really better than me." The Grand Master of Heaven replied angrily, "Certainly. Let me go in first and see what it is." Heavenly Primogenitor said. The Grand Master of Heaven, followed by his disciples, turned his fairy ox toward the fairy slaying gate. Heavenly Primogenitor then followed in his flying chair. He patted the carriage and ordered 4 gods to carry it on golden lotus flowers. An auspicious light filled the air around his carriage with more brightly shining golden lotus flowers. When the leader of Chan Taoism was passing under the archway, the Grand Master of Heaven clapped his hands, causing thunder to shake the sword above. It slashed down a golden lotus flower over Heavenly Primogenitor's head, but he continued on his tour of the trap. When he returned, he was welcomed by all his disciples. After he had taken a seat, Burning Lamp asked, "How was the trap, Master?" Their leader sighed. "Oh, it's terrible. You shouldn't go to see it. Why didn't you break it, so that Brother Jian Sun march eastward?" The Immortal of the South Pole asked him. An ancient proverb says, "Let the master and other elders walk first. I can't do things on my own. I'll wait for my elder brother to see what he will do with it." Heavenly Primogenitor replied. Before he could finish his sentence, a saint on a blue fairy ox flew into their midst. Master Lao Tzu, attended by priest Shun Du, had arrived to join the gathering. "Why has the Grand Master of Heaven, our younger brother, set up that trap for the Zhou army? I've come to solve this problem." Lao Tzu said, "I entered the trap today without your instruction, but I did not take any action." Heavenly Primogenitor said, "You might break his trap then. Forgive him if he is willing to confess his mistakes, but if he's not, take him to see our master at the Purple Heaven Palace." Lao Tzu said. That night auspicious clouds filled the sky with a bright red light. At dawn the next day, the Grand Master of Heaven ordered his disciples to go out in orderly columns, saying, "My eldest brother has come. See what he has to say to me." Lao Tzu rode forward on his blue fairy ox, and the Grand Master of Heaven greeted him. "How are you, dear eldest brother? Dear youngest brother? We made the list of creations to deify those who sacrificed their lives in the war. All 3 of us agreed unanimously on the resolution passed at the conference. Why have you set up such a trap to block the Zhou army?" Lao Tzu reproached his brother. "Dear eldest brother, don't be so unfair. Grand Completion intruded 3 times into the Green Touring Palace, insulting and humiliating our religion with slander and nonsense. He offended his superior horribly, but elder brother did nothing. He did not reproach his disciple, but only blamed me. What does he mean by that? If you wish to solve this problem, send Grand Completion to my Green Touring Palace and let me deal with him. Otherwise, we will just have to see which of our 2 religions is right." The Grand Master of Heaven argued back. "Do you think you are being fair? You believe your disciples' slander and lies. Grand Completion would not speak so recklessly. Even if he did, this punishment hardly fits the crime. How can you break your oath and run counter to the will of heaven? You should dissolve this trap as soon as possible and return to your Green Touring Palace with repentance in your heart. You then have a chance to remain head of your religion. If you don't do as I say, I'll take you to see our master at the Purple Heaven Palace to transmigrate you into an ordinary human being. It'll be too late for regrets then." Lao Tzu said frankly. His face reddening and eyes smoking, the Grand Master of Heaven roared. "Leader, how can you insult me like this? We are both leaders. How can you humiliate me by defending your disciple? Do you think I'm inferior to you? I won't stop now. I dare you come and break this trap. That's no problem, but you must not regret it later. Lao Tzu answered casually. You may go first to get everything ready. The Grand Master of Heaven was enraged. You may enter the trap at any time and under any condition you like. I'll get you no matter what. He roared. The Grand Master of Heaven waited for Lao Tzu at the fairy entrapping gate. When he got there, Lao Tzu patted his blue ox, an auspicious light and white mist sprang from its feet. Purple and red clouds filled the air. At the same time, he unrolled the map of the 8 diagrams and turned it into a golden bridge. He crossed over the bridge and thus easily passed through the fairy entrapping gate. The Grand Master of Heaven released thunder from his hands and shook the miraculous sword from the fairy entrapping gate. But Lao Tzu only burst out laughing and said, "Oh, dear brother, don't be so rude. Look at my walking stick." Lao Tzu raised his walking stick to hit the Grand Master of Heaven, who turned and attacked him with his sword. The two religious leaders kept up the fight for over an hour, when many of the Jia Taoist disciples, who were standing beside the 8-diagram terrace, lost their patience. They jumped into the circle of combat to join the battle with a rush of thunder, wind, and lightning. Lao Tzu used a miraculous pagoda floating in the air above his head to repulse all attacks. Let me play a trick on him. He knows common Taoist magic, but he pays little attention to the study of the way. I'll show him and his disciples what wonders Mount Shandu can perform. Lao Tzu thought. Lao Tzu suddenly pulled in his rein and jumped out of the combat circle. He pushed his fishtail coronet to the side, and 3 columns of gas released from his head transformed into 3 fairies, all named Purity. The first, who appeared from the east with a ringing of bells, shouted loudly, "Elder Brother Li, I'm coming to help you." The Grand Master of Heaven asked the stranger, "Who are you, Taoist?" The fairy replied with a poem. In the beginning, Tao was the only one. To appear and disappear is the natural way. The purple air comes from the east. Since Hanguan Pass, it's been 5,000 years. The Taoist of upper purity attacked the Grand Master of Heaven with a sword, and the master, who did not recognize him, had to resist his best he could. Bells were heard from the south, and another Taoist, wearing a S-shaped coronet and a yellowish 8-diagram robe, suddenly appeared. When he attacked the Grand Master of Heaven, the master asked, "Who are you? How can you fail to recognize me as the head of Jia Taoism? Listed to my song, and then I will tell you my name." Reaching Mount Kunlun from Hanguan Pass, the Taoist crosses both foreign and Chinese soil. My body is immortal like heaven and earth. I remain even if Mount Shumi collapses. I'm the Taoist of Jade Purity. The Grand Master of Heaven could not understand what he was talking about. Taoism has been taught by 3 branches since the beginning of time. How can there be Taoists of upper purity and jade purity? Where do they come from? He wondered silently. Although in full combat with the 2 fairies and Lao Tzu himself, the Grand Master of Heaven was preoccupied by these questions. Suddenly the sound of jade chimes was heard from the north, and a 3rd fairy, wearing a 9-heaven coronet and a purple haze robe, appeared on a lion. Noticing his robust appearance and white hair, the Grand Master of Heaven felt even more uneasy. He asked hurriedly, "Who's that coming? First listen to my song. I never count the years since time began. I've lived the ages through. I know the philosophy of heaven and earth. Let all the pagans feel surprise. I'm the Taoist of extreme purity." Attacked from all 4 sides, the Grand Master of Heaven could only do his best to defend himself. The disciples of Jia Taoism, watching on, were all very impressed by the fairies. Fairy light with long ears thought, "How wonderful they are. The Chun sect must be very proper and just." If you want to know what happened next, please read the next chapter.